Welcome everyone to another exciting episode on Lilymation, where we look closely at classic books and show how these great stories from the past strangely reflect our world today. Today, we're starting a long and detailed look at F. Scott Fitzgerald's famous 1925 novel, The Great Gatsby. The story is set in the shiny but empty world of the Jazz Age, a time of wild parties in the 1920s, illegal alcohol sales during Prohibition, flapple girls, and non-stop pleasure seeking, and it shows how American dreams of success can go wrong. But what if I said that Jay Gatsby, the mysterious rich man in the center of the story, would feel right at home as a social media influencer in 2025? With his big parties meant to attract huge crowds, his carefully built image that hides a troubled history, and his never-ending chase after a dream he can't reach, Gatsby is a lot like today's Instagram stars and famous online personalities. In this very detailed video, we will not only give a summary of the story but also explore the minds of the characters, the deeper meanings and symbols, the historical backgrounds, and most interestingly, how Gatsby's world is similar to our reality full of social media. Fitzgerald used his own life in the writing world and his difficult marriage to Zelda to create a warning story about how the American dream can become spoiled and false. This book came out during a time of economic growth, but it showed the disappointment after World War I. It didn't sell well at first, but now it's a key part of American literature, leading to many movies, stage shows, and studies. We will organize this in-depth look like this. A full breakdown of each chapter with explanations of the main ideas, then comparisons to today that connect Gatsby's fake appearance to edited selfies and sudden online fame. Whether you're a student studying hard for a test, a book fan wanting more understanding, or just someone wondering why this story from 100 years ago seems so connected to 2025 with AI influencers and virtual parties becoming common, this video is made for you. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications to become part of our group of people who loves exploring books. We will also talk about what influenced Fitzgerald, such as the real people who helped create Gatsby, like the bootlegger Max Gerlich, or the wealthy woman Ginevra King who inspired Daisy. So get comfortable with your favorite snack as a nod to that time period, and let's figure out why Gatsby's green light still calls to us across the online distance. Remember, as Fitzgerald wrote, so we beat on, boats against the current, burn back ceaselessly into the past. But in 2025, that past feels like our present. Let's get started. Now, let's dive into the detailed story of The Great Gatsby with a careful look at each chapter, mixing in how characters grow, what symbols mean, connections to history, and thoughts from literary experts. We'll begin with Chapter 1, where we meet the narrator, Nick Carraway, a man from the Midwest who went to Yale and fought in World War I. He moves to West Egg on London Island in the summer of 1922 to work in selling bonds. Nick rents a small house next to the huge and fancy mansion owned by the mysterious Jay Gatsby. From the start, Fitzgerald shows strong differences. West Egg has the flashy style of new money people, while East Egg across the water has the quiet elegance of old money families. Nick goes to visit his cousin Daisy and her husband Tom, a strong and rude former Yale athlete who plays polo at their beautiful home. There, we meet Jordan Baker, a golfer with a negative view of life, and Daisy's friend who gives hints about Tom having an affair. The chapter creates mystery around Gatsby. At night, Nick sees him standing outside, reaching his arms toward a faraway green light on Daisy's dock, a sign of a dream he can never fully reach. People gossip about Gatsby's past. Was he at Oxford a German spy involved in illegal alcohol sales? This builds a feeling of secrets and too much spending. In a closer look, Nick's storytelling is not always fully trustworthy. He's both part of the events and watching them, and it points out the moral problems of that time. Fitzgerald was affected by T.S. Eliot's poem The Wasteland, and he uses broken modern style writing. Symbols are everywhere. The green light stands for the fake promise of the American dream, and the split between East and West Egg shows the deep gaps between social classes. Chapter 2 moves to the sad Valley of Ashes, a dusty and gray area of factories between West Egg and New York City, which represents the hidden moral and social breakdown under all the shine. The main site there is the huge worn-out eyes of Dr. T.J. Ecclesburg on an old billboard. Many see them as God's watching eyes, or how everything, even sight, has become something to buy in a world without faith. Tom brings Nick to meet his lover, Myrtle Wilson, a lively woman married to the quiet and weak garage owner George Wilson. They go to a loud party in a New York apartment with Myrtle's sister Catherine and a couple named the McKees. Drinks keep coming, arguments grow. Myrtle makes fun of Daisy's religion, and Tom hints her and breaks her nose when she says Daisy's name. This chapter shows the fake behavior of rich people. Tom's affair proves his feeling for being better than rules, while Myrtle's wish to leave poverty through cheating shows how desperate lower classes can feel. In Symbols, the Valley of Ashes points out the harm industrialization caused to people based on what Fitzgerald saw in 1920s New York. Characters develop more. Nick starts to feel let down by everything. Tom shows his cruel side. Myrtle has a sad drive to rise higher. Writing tools like strong descriptions, ash gray men who move dimly make the dark mood stronger. Chapter 3 and 4 increase the level of luxury and waste. Chapter 3 puts us right into one of Gatsby's famous parties. Music from bands, huge amounts of food, famous guests, and never-ending drinks, all paid for by Gatsby's unclear sources of money. Nick goes to the party and meets Gatsby for the first time, a friendly man who went to Oxford and likes to call people old sport. Gossip continues. He killed someone. He's related to the German emperor. During the fun, Jordan tells Nick that Gatsby wants him to help set up a meeting with Daisy, his love from 5 years earlier. The party stands for the empty surface of the Jazz Age. Guests talk badly about Gatsby but don't really know him. Gatsby feels alone even with so many people around, which hints at his future sadness. In chapter 4, Gatsby drives Nick in his bright yellow Rolls-Royce car and tells stories about his life. He was a hero in the war, collected valuable jewels, graduated from Oxford. They eat lunch with Mayor Wolfshame, a criminal based on Arnold Rushtain, who rigged the 1919 baseball World Series, which suggested Gatsby made money from illegal alcohol. Jordan explains the old love story between Gatsby and Daisy. He was a poor soldier, she was a rich young woman from Louisville who married Tom for his money. Gatsby bought his house to be closer to her and throws parties hoping she will come one day. Ideas about changing yourself appear. Gatsby's made-up story of success is the strongest chase of the American dream. Fitzgerald points out the wrongdoing caused by prohibition with illegal alcohol sales connected to real organized crime in the 1920s. Chapter 5 and 6 reach the highest emotional points. Chapter 5, Nick helps Gatsby meet Daisy again at his small house. Gatsby acts very nervous, which makes him seem more human. The uncomfortable tea time turns into a walk through his mansion where he shows off his shirts to impress Daisy, and she cries at how nice they are, showing worship of expensive things. The rain stops and sun comes out, matching their new hope. They walk around Gatsby's property, but Daisy's praise seems not very deep. Chapter 6 tells this real story of Gatsby's past. He was born James Gatz to poor farmers in North Dakota, changed his name and life at age 17 after working for a rich yacht owner named Dan Cody. A look back at his younger days shows where his strong drive came from. Tom comes to a party with Daisy and feels Gatsby is a danger. Gatsby tells Nick in private that he wants to forget the past and have Daisy completely again. Symbols grow stronger. The yacht means missed chances. Parties are useless shows. Fitzgerald looks at how hard it is to cross class lines. Gatsby's new money makes old rich people like Tom keep distance. The biggest drama happens in chapter 7 and 8. Chapter 7 has very hot weather that matches growing anger. Like Gatsby, Daisy, Tom, Nick, and Jordan go to New York. In the Plaza Hotel, Tom attacks Gatsby about his Oxford story and illegal business. Gatsby says he loves Daisy. She hesitates but stays with Tom. On the drive home, Daisy drives Gatsby's car and accidentally kills Myrtle, but lets Gatsby take the blame. Tom tricks George Wilson to thinking Gatsby was Myrtle's lover. In chapter 8, Gatsby waits without hope for Daisy to call, telling Nick about his perfect memories of her. Wilson, out of his mind with grief, shoots Gatsby in his swimming pool and then kills himself. The sad twist, Gatsby dies alone, his dreams broken. Ideas of betrayal and false hopes reach their strongest. Daisy's fear, Tom's win because of his advantages. Finally, chapter 9 ends with Gatsby's funeral, where almost no one came. Only Nick, Gatsby's father, Henry Gatz, who shows his poor beginnings, and a guest called Owl Eyes are there. Nick thinks about how bad the East is, ends things with Jordan, and talks to Tom, who feels no guilt. Going back to the Midwest, Nick thinks about the green light and how America's promises have faded. The book closes with beautiful words. So we beat on. Overall, look at the main ideas. The American dream turning into just wanting things, love becoming something to buy, the false idea that anyone can move up in society. Symbols like the eyes watching everything, cars, dangerous change, the colors green for hope, yellow for fake richness, and deeper levels. Fitzgerald's writing, beautiful and flowing worlds, story told by one person makes it feel close and personal. Influences come from his own love story with Zelda, Daisy based on her, and Time Living Abroad. Criticisms cover gender roles, women treated like rewards, race, quiet negative views of Jewish people through wolf shame, and class differences. In longer talks, we can compare it to other writers of the time like Hemingway or Woolf for shared modern styles. Now that we've looked closely at the details of the novel, let's turn to 2025 and see why did Gatsby's world do well or fall apart as an influencer in our online world today. Gatsby's big and carefully planned parties set up to draw attention and start gossip are a lot like Instagram live sessions or huge TikTok events where influencers show off fancy parties to millions of viewers, building crowds just to go viral. Just like people came to Westek without really knowing Gatsby, today's followers watch and like content without any real personal link. Think of live streams from festivals like Coachella or virtual parties in online worlds like the Centerland. His fake image created from partial truth and showy things, the shirts, the huge house, is similar to filtered pictures and edited shorts videos. Like influencers use apps like Facetune or AI tools to make everything look perfect, hiding the real problems just like Gatsby did. His illegal alcohol business past. In 2025, with deep fake videos and digital avatars, someone could change their whole identity like Gatsby did. Maybe pretending to be a rich crypto expert showing off digital art collections called NFTs. The chase for the American dream. Modern influencers live it every day. Stories of going from poor to rich shared on YouTube, running after fame, the green light, through brand deals and partnerships, but often ending up exhausted or big scandals, much like Gatsby's, and sad loneliness at the end. Some real examples. Think about influencers like Mr. Beast, whose huge contests and giveaways feel similar to Gatsby's wild parties, or famous families like the Kardashians who perfectly planned lives hide a lot of personal struggles. The eyes of Dr. Eckelberg. In our time, that's like the constant watch of social media algorithms that decide if your post does well and likes that make you feel approved. The Valley of Ashes could stand for the hidden heart side of the gig economy, where money content makers work long hours for very little money while the top people make huge profit. The big gap in wealth in 2025, super rich tech leaders versus freelancers who barely get by looks a lot like the difference between East Tech and West Tech. Daisy's inability to choose, it's similar to being ignored or ghosted on dating apps where relationships come and go quickly without much depth. Tom's feeling that he deserves everything matches the rude behavior in troll comments or groups that try to cancel people online. Overall, Fitzgerald's warning about too much excess applies directly to the 2025 influencer world. People give up being real just to get more likes, which leads to feeling alone even when surrounded by huge online crowds. Many articles and opinion pieces in 2025 make these same connections, especially after the pandemic when all the online shine often covered up real feelings of sadness and emptiness. As we finish this trip through The Great Gatsby, it's clear that F. Scott Fitzgerald's amazing 1925 books goes beyond its own time, giving us important lessons about being real, having big dreams, and the dangers of living in illusions in our 2025 world full of inferences and fake social media images. Gatsby's sad chase after his dream makes us think about the green lights we run after ourselves, whether that's sudden online fame or perfect looking edited photos, and to look for the true relationships instead of just surface level shows and events. The story warns us to stay alert about how the American dream can go wrong, whether in secret bars during the jazz age or in today's feeds controlled by artificial intelligence. If this close book has helped you to see new sides of the book or made you think about your own Gatsby moments in everyday life, please like the video, leave a comment below with your favorite symbol or connection to today's world, and share it with other people who love books. Subscribe to Lilymation for more detailed looks at classic literature like To Kill a Mockingbird or 1984, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos. For more learning, get your own copy of the novel, watch the 2013 movie version directed by Baz Luhrmann and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, or read expert articles about Fitzgerald's own life. Remember, in the words of Nick Carraway, the past might always try to pull us back, but knowing about it helps us handle the challenges of the present. Thank you for coming along on this book adventure with me. Until next time, keep reading, keep asking questions, and keep pushing forward against the strong currents.